What is up, F and true followers, wrestling fans, and members of the YWC? I'm JC Styles here with the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the WWE Rundown. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things that's going on in WWE that I particularly like and dislike, give you guys a rundown of what I've been thinking about the WWE as of late and where the path that they're going with a lot of the storylines right now. And, just get you guys up to date that I'm still watching the product and that I will be returning soon full-time to doing reviews. It's just right now I'm just trying to get things situated. The holidays are coming up, so I got a lot of stuff to do and prep for. So, but with that being said, the first thing on my mind is CM Punk, probably one of WWE's most talented wrestlers right now in the company. Champion for 365 days. He is probably now, I want to say, 369 days, and that is a full calendar year. Now, championships back in the day, in the early 60s, 70s, and 80s, they weren't defended like they are now, where they're defended at every pay-per-view, and every occasion you'll get a championship title match on Raw or SmackDown, or even on Superstars or main Wednesday night main event. And back in the day, the championships weren't really defended unless they were at Madison Square Garden. And usually, a lot of the time when they were at Madison Square Garden, sometimes championships would change hands. Also, Bruno Sammartino I believe, holds the longest reign as champion for 8 years for the men's singles championship. You also have the Fabulous Moolah, who holds the records for the longest reign in women's wrestling history. She held the women's championship for 4 years. So that goes to show you that the championships weren't defended as much as they are. And even up until a couple of years ago, to be honest, championships were changing hands so frequently in the main event scene that, for CM Punk to reach that milestone in this generation of wrestling, in this era right now, is a shocker because, like I said, the championships were changing hands, ever so frequently, especially with last year in 2011. We had, I think, 3 or 4 WWE Championship hand changes. Maybe 5. So, it's a big thing for CM Punk to be World Heavyweight, WWE Champion. Also, we're still on the topic of championships. Big Show finally was able to win the WWE World Heavyweight title and not get cashed in on, which I found really ironic because Ziggler promised to cash in at Hell in a Cell and didn't cash in when Big Show won the title. Now, in my opinion, I think this is probably going to be Big Show's last run with the company. He's getting up there in age, and I'm sure that he probably wants to be able to sit down and relax and, spend time with his wife and have a family. I'm not sure if he has kids or not. According to the Big Show DVD, I didn't really see any kids in there, so I'm sure he probably wants to have a family at some point. But, also another thing, Ryback is getting a really big push. When we were still doing reviews, he was, starting to, get some hype and getting really big pops. And now it's just to the point where it's like, oh my God, he's going to be he is downloadable content for the upcoming WWE 13 video game for next month's DLC drop. He is also, he's got his own t-shirt. They're in the process of making his figure, if they don't have one already. And he was undefeated, literally undefeated until Hell in a Cell. He went from wrestling jobbers to wrestling some really good talent in the company right now. He had matches with John Cena and CM Punk at Survivor Series. He had a phenomenal match at Hell in a Cell against CM Punk. He's wrestled guys like Tensai and, numerous other guys, Heath Slater, and, and he still, occasionally does wrestle some of the some jobbers here and there. Also, speaking of jobbers, I don't know why they decided to pair Drew McIntyre up with these two idiots, Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal. you really had nothing better. WWE really had nothing better to do with Drew McIntyre than to put him in a stable with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal and name them the three-man band, and they're supposed to be a little rock band. I don't get that whatsoever. I don't like that whatsoever. Drew McIntyre is probably another pure talented athlete who should be champion. Also, speaking of should be champion, Money in the Bank. Dolph Ziggler is still Money in the Bank. I'm hoping that they do something with him and again strike while the iron is hot. The same thing with Ryback, because you keep building these guys up and you keep climbing them up the ladder, and then before you know it, no one's going to care. And by the time they win by the time they win their championships, no one's going to really care. And then you're going to be stuck with, a bad product because you took too long to let these guys capture those championships. I mean, Goldberg was in WCW for, I want to say, a year. Not even a year, less than a year before they pulled the Georgia Dome and let him beat Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship. So it just goes to show you that, when someone has a big enough hype, they can bring in some really good ratings and pay-per-view buy rates and things like that. Also, Jerry the King Lawler just came back from a heart attack. I was really shocked when the Raw that he had the heart attack, because a lot of people were wondering if this was faked, if it was real, or if it was a storyline. What was going on. But then, internet reports were, all reports all over the websites, the internet were saying that Jerry the King Lawler was clinically dead for X amount of minutes. Excuse me. And, he was brought back to us, and, I'm glad to see him back. And it wasn't the same without him. Jerry the King Lawler, whether you love him or hate him, he has always been uh, a great color commentator. He was teamed with Michael Cole, and he's been teamed with Michael Cole over the last several years. He probably one of the most legendary commentators in the company right now. You had him and you had JR during the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. You had Vince McMahon, JR, and King, and you had so many different variations. You had King, JR, and Macho Man, and you had so many other things out there. And it was just really great to see Jerry come back and call the action one more time. And I don't want this to sound like a rant video, so I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna close this up, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been. Another thing before I close this video out, liking the fact is that they took Paul Heyman and teamed him and paired him with CM Punk. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people don't realize that Brock Lesnar is still in contract with the company. He just has X amount of dates left, and WWE is saving him so he could. I'm pretty sure they're probably saving Brock Lesnar for the road to WrestleMania, and interject him at certain points of that show. And I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do. I like the fact that they paired Paul Heyman. A lot of people didn't really make the connection with Punk and Heyman. And, a lot of the fans who were hardcore and followed the action for the last 2 years remember that promo he cut last summer on the WWE going into Money in the Bank, and when he said he was a Paul Heyman guy, and he talked about Brock Lesnar. So it's interesting to see how that they played that story, that little promo out. And there's even a shirt that they have now that you can buy on WWE.com. It says, "I'm a Paul Heyman guy." So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. So guys, thanks for watching. Like always, check out all the channels that make up the Ephraim brand of wrestling entertainment here on YouTube.com, and check out the official website of the Ephraim brand at FightNationWrestling.com. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.